Oh hey everyone, my name's Connor James, and today I'm going to be showing you something absolutely wild. You know what these are, VHS tapes. I mean, if you don't know, ask your mom and dad. Anyway, these fell out of fashion starting in the late 90s due to the rise of the DVD. But they sure still are nifty. I mean, like, look at this. Wow, a movie I'm never going to want to watch. I think what I love most is the fact that there was such a big market for, like, home movies. And I don't mean just, like, family gatherings and that kind of thing. I mean full-on cinematic bazooka camcorder on your shoulder, tactile plastic case going into the thing, shooting a movie, and then just, like, that's it. You made your own movie. That's what I'm talking about. Sure, these days, your smartphone pretty much fills that same role. But, I don't know. It's just not the same. Plus, having to work within the confines of the technology, such as, like, short tape lengths, mean you had to really want the shots you were getting. Like, you had to really get the shots you wanted. Like, you could not mess up. Anyway, this brings us to what I wanted to talk to you about today. I wanted to know if the home video scene was still alive and well. I found out the answer to that question is yes, albeit completely comprised of weirdos. It's not a big scene, but if you look for it, it's there. So after doing some digging, I came across this completely unearthed gem that I know for a fact none of you have ever seen before. Redbox Killer. And this is a little independent shot-on-video horror film made in, I believe, 2007. Out of Pennsylvania by a man named Mark Demise. A masked psychopath stalks the streets and kills at the kiosks. Is this the work of a madman, or is there a motive behind the massacre? That's what it says on the back. I just love the girl on the box here, how she's just like, no thank you. It should be noted that this movie was also released as Movie Machine Massacre, I assume to avoid some kind of legal issue, but I mean there's so much Redbox branding in this video that it's like, why even bother? Anyway, I know you guys are just itching to see what's on here, so without further ado, let's take this thing, pop it into my trusty VCR, press play, and I present to you Redbox Killer. Okay, so first thing to note is that before the movie even starts, there is a Grindhouse-style movie trailer for none other than the sequel to this film, Movie Machine Massacre 2.
They're back in black and red. When you start streaming, you'll be screaming.
Rise from your grave.
Wait, was that Altered Beast?
Rise from your grave.
Huh, that's awesome. So the movie starts with a couple standing at a Redbox kiosk, probably outside of a CVS.
I wish they had some more new releases.
I wish you could rent something older on here.
I know, like Titanic, I could totally go for that.
No way, I'm not watching that again. I was really hoping for some Jerry Maguire. Hey man, wait your turn.
So the couple gets brutally murdered at the kiosk all of a sudden, and I really hope the filmmakers cleaned up their mess after they were done and didn't just leave it for some minimum wage cashier to deal with. The film then gives us a great opening credits, which is just ridiculous fake names like Melissa Mania and Scotty Savage, punctuated by news articles about how Redbox is killing the video store industry. Enjoy it while it lasts, Redbox. Some pretty crazy shit's about to go down. Music by... What the fuck is that? Werewolves Dare? Where Evils Dare? What the fuck kind of name is that? Special performance by the Independents? Okay, I have to look this up. Huh, yeah. They're both on Spotify. So, if you're morbidly curious, you can listen to The Independents or Werewolf Tires on your morning commute. So after the credits, we have what looks like someone sharpening some weird knives in front of a TV. Then there's a bizarre channel surfing montage featuring a ridiculous newscaster that ends with another newscaster interviewing a man named Hammer, who I guess owns or runs all the local Redbox kiosks. Now, I don't know how Redbox handles its franchising, obviously. I just didn't assume it would be handled by a guy like this.
If someone got killed at a Coke machine, stop drinking Coke? Hell no!
Okay, so now the killer is stalking two girls at a grocery store. You can tell they didn't ask for permission to film here because they stopped just short of actually entering the business with the camera. Now this next part, I was originally confused at first, but apparently after rewatching it I realized the killer sneaks underneath the car and hitches a ride by holding onto the bottom of it. So the two actors in the car struggle to remember their lines as they talk about a random non-Redbox related, unrelated to anything else in this movie, massacre. Immediately, they blame some incel.
They said he's like a 20-year-old virgin that like hates old women.
I guess this is the killer's point of view from under the car? But it's obvious someone is just holding a camera out of an open door. Come on. So then they pull up to, oh my god, they're driving a Saturn. Sorry, there's just a lot of nostalgia for me there. This movie just got 100 times better. So they pull into one of the girls' driveways. The driver gets out to get something from inside the house and gets stabbed in the leg from under the car. She offers her purse to the killer, and the Redbox DVD falls out of it. He then stabs her in the chest through the Redbox case, so that's where we get the back of the box. Then the girl in the passenger seat, who I guess was just watching until this point, finally gets involved. I love how when she gets killed, she just falls on the hood of the car, and when the killer steals the car, the camera just cuts right before her head hits the pavement. Okay, so we get another scene with a reporter talking to Hammer. Hammer delivers more gold.
I heard she had a Slim Jim in her car. Why don't you go bother Randy Macho Man Savage about that? Well,
Then Hammer's secretary Veronica saves him from the reporter.
That's enough. No more questions. Mr. Hammer's a very busy man.
thank you.
Then, of course, Hammer tries to hit on Veronica, and she definitely delivers her lines out of order, making the whole scene infinitely more awkward.
So what are you doing?
Mr. Hammer, how do
Do
you
you
think your
wanna-
wife would like that?
I think we should go have some drinks, maybe make some bad decisions.
I don't know. I don't think your wife would be okay with that. I'm sorry.
After that, we see the killer pick up an ID next to another Redbox kiosk. And I guess he just tracks down the address or something, because cut to some girl's house. I guess it's the girl from the ID. She's on the couch watching some terrible movie that she totally paid Redbox to rent. Anyway, we get the old knock at the door but nobody's there cliche.
Jake, if this is you, I'm calling the cops!
Then the killer enters through the window and strangles her from behind the couch with her phone charger.
No contest.
Don't worry though, she's fine. She gets back up and she tries to escape. And then she's stabbed in the eyes by the killer's blade gloves, Wolverine style.
Veronica, get the F in here.
Is this supposed to be Hammer's office? Well, the Elvis lamp is a great touch. Is this what Redbox corporate looks like?
I need you to find me
I'm pretty sure this is just somebody's house. Anyway, this scene just pretty much serves to show us Hammer telling Veronica, the secretary, to hire a private security guard for his kiosks. The next scene is inside the security guard's car, as he watches over the kiosk at night. He's watching a lady use the Redbox, but suddenly springs into action when he notices a masked man creeping up on... It is a CVS! Anyway, it turns out it's just her husband in a Halloween mask.
Haven't you ever heard of Halloween?
But at least this establishes that this movie for sure takes place around Halloween.
That's what I call a 2.5.
What the hell is a 2.5? Seriously, I'm serious. Honestly, does anyone know? How is wrongfully being accosted by a security guard a 2.5 of anything? Please, if this is just like a Pennsylvania thing, or like maybe just a thing from the era of the movie, just somebody tell me, because I really want to know what this 2.5 business is about. So the security guard goes back to his car and calls to quit his job on his first night because he's anxious and made a mistake. But before he can finish quitting, he's interrupted by the real killer at his window and is killed by an electric drill to the skull. Cut to Veronica running away from somebody and hiding in a punk bar. The movie cuts back and forth between a performance by the Independents and Veronica hiding in the ladies' restroom. This must have been super awkward to film.
What the fuck is going on?
Cameraman in the mirror. So we get to see Veronica run out and get captured, but I still don't know how she started getting chased in the first place. Alright, this next scene is one of, if not the most bizarre scene in this entire movie. So Veronica is tied up somewhere, writhing around on the ground. We hear some weird industrial music during all this, and she starts calling for help and moaning to the music? I honestly don't even know what to make of this or what else to say about this scene at all.
Oh God, where am I? Oh. Help! Anybody! Help!
So then Hammer finds out that a security guard has been murdered and his secretary is missing, and calls up a guy named Big B, some kind of private bounty hunter, I guess.
I'm not fucking around with this Redbox Killer anymore. Get me Big B.
He looks like if Axe body spray, a Monster Energy drink, and a camouflage trucker hat all got together and had a baby.
Oh yeah? Well, I guess I'll be the Redbox Killer's killer.
Alright, so then we cut back to Veronica, who's no longer writhing on the floor at least, but she's still tied up. There's a guy with a hoodie and a gas mask for some reason, and also there's a couple of dogs here, one running around and one poor pup in a cage. Don't worry, spoiler alert, they let him out, because obviously. So gas mask guy gets up and frees Veronica from her chains, and then she just dips. Oh my god! Alright, so we finally get a good look at the killer, and he's wearing this ridiculous, I don't know, like pantyhose looking werewolf mask. Wow. Okay. Wow. Wow. Alright, so with that shot out of the way, we can continue. We see the Redbox Killer chase Veronica before hitting her in the head with a shovel and knocking her out. Oh my god. Meanwhile, Big B is driving with his girlfriend, listening to some butt rock, when he gets a call telling him where he should look for the Redbox Killer. He's told that it has to be checked out right away, which means bringing his girlfriend with him. He then tells her all this, even though she was sitting right next to him the whole time, so she's upset because this ruins their plans to go to the drive-in. Alright, so then they arrive at some abandoned farm at dusk. Big B gets out of the car, and suddenly, it's the middle of the night. Anyway, we see Big B get spooked by a cardboard Elvis, and then by Halloween decorations.
What is wrong with these people? Is it Halloween or something?
Are you serious? We just established that it was Halloween time. It was a crucial part of a scene that happened not even 15 minutes ago. Are you serious? Are you serious? Alright, whatever, I'm over it. So Big B gets murdered like a dumbass because, obviously. We finally get to hear the killer's voice.
Who the fuck are you?
Dad.
Then the killer drags the body away and... Jesus Christ, dude, take out your fucking recyclables, man! Anyway, then the girlfriend gets upset, gets out of the car, and promptly gets chased by someone who's not the Redbox Killer. Ooh, ending up in a basement and getting decapitated, because, obviously. Alright, so here Mr. Hammer is looking at centerfolds when a man named Wolfgang comes to visit him. Wolfgang comes in, and to prove he's tough, he chucks a switchblade through Hammer's newspaper. Then he hands Hammer a business card that just says Wolfgang. And apparently Mr. Hammer can read it even without moving his thumb from over the name.
Wolfgang? That's it?
So then Wolfgang, who's obviously the killer, leaves and then stops for a hitchhiker lady. She asks for a ride, and after he responds, some guy who looks like he just came straight from a suburban ska show comes straight in from the other side of the car, holding Wolfgang up with a gun. Then a second masked man jumps out from the back seat and attacks the ska dude. Alright, so it was a difficult choice, but I think at the end of the day, this next scene is probably my favorite moment in the entire movie. This masked killer guy straight up throws the ska guy, and you actually see a dude catch him, and I think it's even the actor playing Wolfgang. It's at this point I get really afraid that I've started picking on a high school final film project. I'm not saying that as an attack on the quality of the movie, I'm just saying am I a terrible person here? But then I remember that this movie was made by a man named Mark Demise of Atomic Crypt Video. So I just did a quick Google search and actually found this article on lunchmeatvhs.com. Fun name. Anyway, it seems like this article is actually promoting Redbox Killer, which means the movie probably came out around the same time as this article. Here's the thing though. Remember earlier when I said that movie came out back in 2007? Well, forget about that, because this movie came out in 2014! It's actually a pretty interesting article. It explains a lot, the reason so many of the shots seem rushed is because they were using a home camcorder from the 90s for authenticity, and apparently it had about a 20-minute battery life. Definitely worth a read if you're interested. Shout out to its author, Josh Schaefer, over there at Lunch Meat VHS. Now, I'm starting to think maybe this isn't a high school film project. Maybe I'm not a horrible person. But here's the thing. I paid money for this. Yeah, I bought this. I bought this directly from Atomic Crypt Video on eBay, so I can say whatever I want. Besides, I think I kind of love this movie. So the hitchhikers are killed, the masked killer even eats the guts of the ska dude. I don't know, man, these deaths weren't even Redbox related. Cut to Hammer's incompetent employee. He gets a real phone call, but I guess the audio quality wasn't great because the dub here is super weird.
Hello?
Hey, Tim. Mr. Hammer needs to see you.
Alright.
Oh my god, it is just his house! So Hammer complains about the redness of the employee's tie, then Hammer gets a call from Wolfgang, saying that he's found Veronica. Also, apparently the masked killer's name is Human.
Alright, Human, bring her up.
Human. He comes in with Veronica and drops her on the floor next to a bunch of VHS tapes on shelves. She asks them why they are doing this, and Wolfgang responds by laughing and telling her that the videotapes on the wall next to her were the horror section in their daddy's old video store before Redbox ran him out of business. And then he just basically tells her that killing people associated with Redbox is just their coping mechanism, I guess. Oh god, that Wolfgang mask is just so damn awkward to watch, man. Stop. Alright, so then Hammer shows up with the incompetent employee at Wolfgang's farm, I guess. Hammer talks about how he's going to be known as the man who stopped the Redbox Killer.
The world will know that I saved her, not the police, me. I'll probably get a raise, good for the company. And I'll probably get what I want from Veronica. You know what I'm saying? I thought we were going to Hooters.
Wolfgang sees all this and then tells Human to go deal with Hammer while Wolfgang watches the girl. Human disobeys. Wolfgang threatens to tase him, and Human pins Wolfgang against the wall. Veronica manages to escape during the shuffle, and there's a weird shot of a Jesus with bleeding eyes for no reason. So they realize that she's kicked rocks, so Human goes after her, and Wolfgang just sort of collapses to the ground. Veronica runs to the incompetent employee, who lets out a glorious Wilhelm scream when he's attacked by Human. Then there's this scene.
Don't worry, I'm here to save you. You can't even save yourself.
I knew your elevator didn't go to the top floor as soon as I met you. So you like weapons? What do you think of this?
So Hammer pulls out a machete, and Wolfgang pulls out a double Morningstar. Awesome! Meanwhile, Human pushes incompetent employee through a cinder block wall, killing him, I guess. Then Hammer gets a double morning star to the face. Veronica tries to bail. Cut back to Wolfgang getting kicked in the balls by Hammer in the middle of being bludgeoned to death. Hammer somehow gets to his feet completely unharmed and draws a gun, but Wolfgang chucks a knife at him before he can get a shot off. Then after being bludgeoned again, this time with a hammer ironically, Hammer then shoots Wolfgang to the ground, and Veronica runs over Wolfgang's head, or I should say, a watermelon in Wolfgang's mask. She tries to run over Human too, but just pins him against a pile of dirt instead. So obviously, in true cheesy horror movie fashion, the girl gets out of the car instead of just backing up and bailing. Next, we cut to the gas mask man again. Alright. So he just gets up and, well, first he frees the dogs because, obviously. Then the music awkwardly ends, and then he just wanders off and dips. He's done. He's good on all this. He doesn't want to take his mask off, but I guess I'm fine with that in today's world. That's just it for him. He's gone. Cut back to Veronica, who decides to hide from Human in a dusty old barn. Human searches the barn, and she gets the jump on him with a sledgehammer, then beats him with a 2x4, and then she proceeds to run him over with a lawnmower. We then get a couple of weird extended shots of Human's body. I don't get it. It's his corpse. Great. Okay. Alright. Okay. And then Veronica runs out of the barn all of one step before stopping to catch her breath. Of course, Human gets back up and snatches her. Door shuts. Boom! Credits. So I don't know if this is on all versions of this, but on my copy, the movie loops a second time after the credits. You get the Altered Beast, Atomic Crypt thing, you get the whole movie replays, and I don't really know why. Maybe it's just to fill up the space or something, but yeah, so that was Redbox Killer. Now I know I gave this movie a good kicking, but I actually like this movie a lot. I mean, it perfectly nails that cheesy 70s, 80s kind of grindhouse aesthetic perfectly. You know, sometimes unintentionally, but it's nailing it nonetheless. I definitely had a lot more fun watching like this than, say, Escape from Tomorrow. God, what a pile of garbage that movie was. Anyway, I'll put links in the descriptions to all the creators and stuff so you can support them, check them out, you know. And after all that, you know what? I'm really happy I got this. I really am. I hope Mr. Demise keeps up his good work, keeps doing what he's doing, because it is awesome. Honestly, I mean that. I mean, I haven't had this much fun with a movie since Silent Night, Deadly Night 2. And it's so damn quotable. Like, here, listen to this.
So you like weapons? What do you think of this? You got the balls? Let's dance, dickweed.
That's what I call a 2.5.
I mean, am I in Crazy Town? Did I just get off the bus to Crazy Town?
That's enough.
Instead of playing kick the can and hide and seek and football and baseball, they spend time in front of their VCR. They have a television set with hundreds of channels instead of just the one or two that when we had as kids.
The red within the box is the devil itself.
Why don't you go bother Randy Macho Man Savage about that?
Well, I believe
I know he's no longer with us. That's not the point.
Isn't anyone gonna help me?
By the way, Titanic Speed 3, is coming out.
Titanic Speed 3.
And I was really hoping for some Jerry Maguire.
The fuck? It's the fucking king.
I'll package a lot for you.
Well, what are you waiting for? My birthday?
That's not really my job.
Don't worry, I'm here to save you.
Yeah, one word. Like Madonna. Yeah. Look at this. Saved by the Bell. Looks like it's your knight in shining. What is that, a Saturn?
I knew your elevator didn't go to the top floor as soon as I met you.
I thought we were going to Hooters.
What's back there?
Well, that's the adult section. But anyways, that's not the point.
Fuck you, Scotty.
I made it.
Anyway, thank you for joining me on this trip through obscurity with me. Honestly, I'm just glad I could introduce you guys to this movie. But, you know, do the whole thing, the whole spiel, subscribe, all that. I'll try not to just make a habit out of saying that, but this is my first video, so gotta put myself out there. I'm gonna be shining a light on a lot more weird crap here in the future. I'm pretty sure you're not gonna want to miss. A little hint for next time, we are gonna be covering what is, without a doubt, the worst video game I've ever played.
Osama bin Laden, where you been hiding?
Not an exaggeration. Anyway, McClunky, be sure to stay funky. I'm Connor James, and I'm out of here. See you next time.